How's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out my show. So, I'm going to be talking a lot about anti-aging now, more than ever. But what I want to get into today is your shoes. And I don't think a lot of people realize their shoes and the way they walk in their shoes may be making them look a lot older than they are, or just maybe aging them in general. I'm going to start doing a web series. The first and third of every Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a web series online. And I'm going to be going through a lot of different things, helping people with anti-aging. I'm also going to have a lot of specialists on there as well doing Q&As. And with this anti-aging, it's called the AntiAging Experience, I'm going to be touching upon a lot of things that I don't think a lot of people think about. But regardless if this is even about anti-aging, it is going to be about anti-aging, but I also think people have to take an approach besides just that when it comes to their shoes, the way they look and the way they walk in them, even maybe the quality. And I help a lot of people with wardrobe and fashion. People really underestimate the power of the shoe. I'm not kidding. I wrote about it in both of my books, The Wingman and The Model Bible, that for one, the shoes you're buying, are they destroying your body, for one? Because a lot of women especially are wearing shoes that are taking a toll on their body. It could be their ankles, their knees, their lower back. They just buy shoes that they may not fit them correctly. It may be the heel's too high and all those things. But a lot of guys, too, buy a lot of shitty, cheap shoes. And they wear them a lot. And they don't realize, too, what that can be doing to their body as well. That, again, could be their lower back, their knees, their hips. And while wearing a lot of these shoes, the way you're walking in them for years, even decades, just by the way you walk, you may be pigeon-toed, I don't know. You may have what I call the Charlie Chaplin, where your feet are flared out. You may have a certain type of walk, or your posture with your walk, that could be making you look older, and it can also be hurting your body. And you may be like, Rich, that's kind of crazy, but I am telling you right now, if you start wanting to look younger and more youthful, we want to find shoes that you can afford. I mean, I get it. That's really the thing we need to figure out. But we want to make sure we get good shoes that we can afford. Because a lot of people only wear a few shoes for the most part, excluding women. Women wear a ton of different shoes. So that's a whole different thing, I would say, for the most part. But a lot of guys, for the most part, I know, they have 3 or 4 shoes that they wear, maybe a couple pairs of sandals, and call it a day. And I see a lot of guys, including my friends in them, that will go buy, like I said earlier, really shit shoes. And then they start to complain about certain things, especially if they're a little overweight. I'm like, well, I'm going to tell you right now, for starters, it's not just your weight, it's your shoes. And that can be even cheap gym shoes, dress shoes, if there's no support there. Every step you take is having an impact on your health. You're taking millions of steps throughout your life, thousands a day. And if you don't have the proper, I guess you could say, impact on your legs and your body, it's going to affect you. And I'm also going to talk about the style. A lot of people look at shoes, and the darker usually the shoe, for the most part, I should say, in this case, men, the blacker and the less, like a patent leather, that would be classified as kind of a high-grade tuxedo shoe. And then the more designs kind of you get into kind of lessens the, maybe the level of the shoe to a certain degree, which is, I don't mean the expense of it. I'm just saying, so if you kind of go brown, it's going to be a little more casual. You start getting in the different colors, it's going to be a little more casual. And of course, you can wear whatever the hell you want to wear. I mean, especially now more than ever. I mean, you got guys wearing gym shoes with suits, which is pretty interesting, right? Same with women too. Let's just jump over there. They have all the different selections. I mean, you want to talk about, women have all these different types of shoes. But again, what I see that's interesting is a lot of women will wear shoes that not only may hurt their body, they can also break their ankle or whatever, but they're buying a lot of different shoes that are shitty shoes. I'd hate to say that. Less is more. You're better off buying a really good shoe, or a certain amount of shoes that you can wear out, even look sexy if you want, but you can really wear them throughout the night. They're not going to give you blisters. They're the right size. They look good. They also are appropriate for where you're going. And I get a lot of times you're like, no way, I want to wear these sexy pumps, and I get it. But a lot of times too, men and women, you buy shoes, especially women, that you only wear a few times. then they're stuck in your closet. Even if they were only 20 bucks, 50 bucks, $100, that's dead inventory. I know you look cool that night and you took photos. And a lot of times you may even take photos in these shoes at one night, not want to wear them again because they got so much, action or whatever. You're like, oh, I'm not going to wear them anymore because next photo, then I don't want anyone to see me in these shoes for a while, or clothes. Don't waste your money on that shit. I'm just telling you, you want to get the most use out of the things you have. Now, if you're a millionaire, do whatever you want. But I will say officially, the style of shoes you're wearing has a major impact on the way people are looking at you and maybe the way you're looking at yourself. This really happens with men. I see them, when they were younger, maybe more stylized, more experimental, trying different colors, different type of designers, all these things, right? Then as they get older, they just start to get more and more boring and more dull. And before you know it, they could be 45, 50 years old. They look like they're wearing a shoe that a 70, 80-year-old man would wear. I'm not dissing that. I'm not saying that that's bad. If that's what you're comfortable wearing, wear it. But if you do want to look more youthful again, and you do want to look more stylized, start breaking out of that a little bit. That, again, doesn't mean you have to go out and start buying Armani, Prada, or I don't even know if Prada, high-end level shoes, or you got to go to Nordstrom's or Neiman Marcus or to spend thousands of dollars on shoes. What I'm saying is if you are looking, to be more stylized overall, experiment. Try different colors, try different things, but again, make sure you get the most out of those shoes. And I'm going to tell you, I will officially wrap it up with this. You will be shocked, a shoe, a boot, how that changes the way you feel about yourself a lot of times. When I'm helping people with their image, I usually start with the foot. I know that sounds stupid. The face and the foot, top to bottom. Usually if they want to look younger, I a lot of times start obviously with the face because, besides their weight. But I go to the shoe because I can put them in a certain type of shoe. Maybe they've never worn before. It could be a boot or a certain color, and it, for some reason, it changes the way they feel about themselves. Even when they're walking, I think they look down, or when they're putting it on, it gives them this sense of confidence, I think, maybe that they never had before. Or maybe they were just putting on shitty shoes all the time, or just putting a shoe on for the shoe. That goes for gym shoe as well. You'd be shocked putting a really cool gym shoe on a guy that's really not in shape, how that will impact his workouts compared to if he's had a shoe for a year or two or some really cheap type of athletic shoe and you put it on. It just has impact. That's just how it is sometimes. So I just really wanted to do a podcast on this. And definitely pay attention to your shoes. It is so, having uncomfortable shoes, they've done studies, I think, actually, where a lot of people are miserable throughout the day because of the shoes they're wearing. They don't even realize it. Their feet hurt. They may be getting blisters. They're too tight. They're too loose. There's no support. It could be the way, it looks. All these different types of things. It's kind of amazing how a shoe, again, has an impact on our life, but it is a big part of wherever we go. Let's face it. So I'm going to wrap it up there. It's just something I wanted to kind of cover. If you got any questions or comments, please feel free to hit me up. And if you want to know more, we're going to be starting the new website. It's going to be AntiAging Experience.com. Why do I keep saying experiment? Okay. Anyways, that's it. Take care.